Screencast. So again, welcome. My name is Caitlin Donnelly. I am the Strategic Partnerships and Development Officer here at Achieving the Dream. And joining me today is Lauren Hart-Piper from the Tambellini Group, where she is the Vice President of Product Management and Marketing. And today we're going to share about the Achieving the Dream and Tambellini Group partnership. I'll share more about the Achieving the Dream Technology Solutions research. We'll share about the benefits of your participation in the research, and then we will have time for question and answers and a little bit of discussion. So Achieving the Dream institutions are increasingly turning to technology to improve student success outcomes. Through a collaboration with the Tambellini Group, we are seeking to learn more about the technology solutions ATD institutions select and utilize. And I'll turn it over to Lauren now, who will share more about the Tambellini Group.
Great. Thank you, Caitlin, and welcome, everyone. On the slide here you have the formal statement about the Tambellini Group, but I'm not going to read that to you, but in essence, who we are is we are a research and analyst firm that is dedicated just to higher education. The services we provide include contract negotiations for major administrative systems, and we've saved our clients, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to personalized MarketScape reports, to providing in-depth published research and analysis reports such as our annual State of the SAS market, or our newest report in our Build versus Buy series, comparing an Ellucian Banner XE upgrade to a migration to Workday. But instead of telling you about us, I want to tell you who we are. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see here that the Tambellini Group, we are a team of former executives, vice presidents, and managers who have worked for the leading vendors in the higher ed tech space, as well as having even come from an administration in the community college sector. But really, our years of experience and breadth of knowledge is unparalleled. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see that just with our executive team, we have more than 60 years of higher education experience. And in addition, we are dedicated to helping higher ed. And it's really not just our mission, but it's our passion, because we value all that higher ed offers and all that you do. But what I think what is probably most unique about the Tambellini Group is that we are independent. And what I mean by independent is that all of our research and in-depth reports we publish are self-funded. Our research is never sponsored by any vendor, so we can provide you with objective data, unbiased analysis that never has to be questioned. So enough about the Tambellini Group. Let me just turn this back over to Caitlin, and I'll talk with you in just a little bit.
Great, thank you. So the purpose of the technology solutions research is to learn more about the solutions your institution selects and utilizes. And the data we will collect will help Achieving the Dream to establish communities of practice to really help your institution. We'll discover new ways to implement solutions. We can help you troubleshoot existing solutions, learn more about how to integrate the technology, what adoption needs to take place, that other ATD institutions using similar solutions may have experienced. The value of this data to the collective Achieving the Dream network is impossible to calculate, as we for the first time may begin to understand the potential links between technology selections and outcomes. So this is really important to the whole network as well as your institution. And so really the research will take place as an online survey, or you may also, there's an option to schedule a call. It's very brief. It's 100% voluntary. And the sample questions we will ask is really to have you identify the technology solutions your institution selects and utilizes. So, for example, we will ask about the learning management system. Are you using Blackboard, Canvas, Schoology, or is there another? We'll ask about what room scheduling solutions you're using. Are you using Ad Astra? as well as other solutions in other categories, such as what solutions you're using in your BI analytics and so forth. And so the benefits of participating with the Tambellini Group, they have offered a complimentary tour to those who do participate in this research of their online data service called Peertelligent. And participants will have a free basic membership to Peertelligent, and there will also be a significant database membership pricing concession exclusive for Achieving Dream Network institutions who participate in this research. So I'll let Lauren share more about Peertelligent with you now.
Great, thank you. Well, Peertelligent really, first of all, in order to provide the analysis and insight on the technology trends in our research reports, the Tambellini Group, we've been tracking and cataloging the technology selections of higher education institutions since 2001. And our database has now grown over to 19,000 global institutions with 5,400 in the United States alone, not 5,000. There's an extra zero there. We'll remove that. And when technology decision makers get asked by their president or their CFO to find out what institutions like them are selecting for their ed technologies, they call us to provide this information because we have all of this in a database where we can actually then give them the information and institutions, for example, what student retention systems have other community colleges in New Jersey who have an enrollment between 5,000 and 8,000 full-time students selected for their student retention system. And with our database, we can provide that information. And so over the past 18 months, these types of requests called into the Tambellini Group have really escalated. So we created Peertelligent to provide that service as well as a number of other services to help higher ed decision makers with their technology decisions. So let me just show you quickly here Peertelligent and how Achieving the Dream will be using the site. Okay, so let me just ask, can you all see my screen? I know you can't really. Caitlin, can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so just quickly about Peertelligent. Your free basic membership, if you go to peertelligent.com, you can sign right up for a basic membership, which gives you some limited information, but you can then become part of our subscribing community. But first, what's important, I think, to note is that Peertelligent is exclusive to colleges and universities. No vendors will be allowed access to Peertelligent. It also provides unbiased research and analysis from the Tambellini Group, as we just talked about, as well as reviews and ratings on those technology selections from verified higher education users. So you're going to be able to get the information from your real users. So just to quickly go in to look at how Achieving the Dream will be able to come in, and if you were a subscriber, use the services of Peertelligent. Here we have what's called Build a List, and kind of like Build a Bear, and we're always asking if somebody has a better terminology for this. We're always open to it. But here now you can come in and you can build your list and generate reports of institutions, even list of vendors, or list of software. But just to show you some of the features, here we can start off with criteria. So we can base it off of, we default to institutions that are located in the United States, but again, you could even go dive down into the state, maybe even within the city. You can also then say, now I'm looking for institutions that are like me. So who am I? And you can see all of the different institution types that we do track. As well as if you were looking for like degrees offered, maybe it's based off of an enrollment range, and you can be very specific on that enrollment range, or do even 1,000 to 5,000, however, whatever you were looking for. Base it off of employees and even membership. So here, if we were to come in and look for institutions that are in Achieving the Dream, And now what software have they selected? And again, what we track is the selection of that software, because as you know, you may select an application or a technology, but you may not actually be utilizing it for 2 to 3 years because of implementation. And that's very important as you're trying to track the trends and to see what other institutions are doing. You want to know where they're going and where they're heading. So you could either select by software category. We are tracking over 85 different categories and continue to add to this. You could just say I want to look for software that was selected by a particular vendor name, or maybe you really want to select a very specific software. So let's take a look at, for example, Banner Student. Who might be using Banner Student? We'll add that to our criteria. I can then come in and I can view my results. And so now Peertelligent is going to bring back a report for you that here now you'll be able to see we can even add more columns such as state, enrollment, even retention rate. And so here you can come in, now you can see the technology of institutions that have matched our criteria. So if I was to come in and I wanted to look at, for example, let's look at, I'll just pick one here, Central Alabama Community College. So now I can actually look at the individual profile of Central Alabama Community College. The information that we're getting here is directly from iPads. So this, for enrollment, and again with community colleges, this is your student full-time FTE fall enrollment pulled from iPads. Of course, the institutional type, operating revenues, information from iPads, as well as now we can come in and we can see the other applications or technologies that is being used by Central Alabama Community College. From here then I can even come in and let's say, oh, I see that they're using Moodle and I'd really like to know more about Moodle. So we can even come in and we can look at the contacts. So here maybe I have Susan Burrow as the president, or maybe I want to talk to Richard, who's their executive vice president or their CFO, to get more information. So we also have the contact information included with this institutional profile. So as you can see here too, that as we looked at these institutions, you can search by institution name, type, software selected, but also then we have a vendor directory to help you before you're ready to talk to a vendor to be able to come in and look for vendors. You could either look for a vendor profile based on a specific vendor name. Maybe you just came back from a conference, you want to know more about a vendor. Maybe you can't find that vendor in our list. So you'll see throughout the entire site there's this, can't find it. You simply click on this button, say I'm looking for more information on vendor XYZ, and if we don't currently have a complete profile or it's not included in our list of over 1,500 vendors, which we add to every day, click on this button and we'll put our research team right on it and get the information that you're looking for within 2 to 3 business days, depending, of course, on the amount of details. But if you are looking for vendors based on software category, you can see here all of the categories that we do track. And these categories that you're seeing here, a number of these are the ones that are being asked for on the Achieving the Dream survey. So for example, business intelligence, they're looking for your learning management system, collaboration, what are we using for marketing, what are we using for survey tools. So these will all be software categories that now you can come in and be able to find other institutions that are using that particular category, and we continue to add. So in this particular case, if I was looking for, I wanted to see, vendors that provide alumni relations or alumni advancement, I can come in and I can click. You'll see that we currently are tracking 7 of these vendors and have profiles for 7 of these vendors. And you'll also notice that a number of these vendors have a colored circle. And let me tell you a little bit about what that is. We'll go to Blackbaud. And when I come to Blackbaud, now I'm looking at the vendor profile. And here we're getting information about Blackbaud, we do come in and try to remove all of that marketing jargon and just give you the facts. That's part of the review process and part of the service that is provided. You can see that we are tracking over 28 different software products that Blackbaud offers. But we also provide some facts about the company. You can also get the contact information on Blackbaud, so when you're ready to call them, you know who to call. As well as, you'll see here, with Blackbaud, we're providing analysis from the Tambellini Group. And this is an overall vendor score, not an individual product score. Here you can see that the Tambellini Group has rated Blackbaud a 96. And how we've come up with that is based off of 10 key criteria that you can see how the Tambellini Group analysts have rated based off of functionality, innovation, reliability, ease of business transactions, pricing, to give you that information, to get an overall score. Now, the Tambellini Group just doesn't look at websites and marketing materials to come up with the score, which is why you'll see some of the vendors do not have this score at this point, because this is based off of having annual vendor briefings between the Tambellini Group analysis and with Blackbaud, as well as speaking with a number of Blackbaud customers. Possibly we've been involved in some contract negotiations, or we've done the FOIA process to pull contracts. So there's a lot of primary and secondary research that goes into coming up with this score for you, because our goal is really to provide you with the most accurate and quality information and analysis that is unbiased as possible. In addition, then, you'll also be able to come in, and as you look at the individual applications, you can now come in and you'll be able to see here the software profile. Now, this hasn't been rated yet. We just launched this site here this summer, and we are a number of our members right now are starting to come in and put in some pros and cons. But here you can list advantages and disadvantages of this particular application, and these will all be validated that they are real users that are submitting this information. We've also tried to make it very simple and easy. So here we simply ask for you to, how is the software performing? Again, what year selected, year go live and version, because that's going to be important as people are reviewing your contribution. Simple 5-star rating, and right here we're already looking to say, if I was to, it says, we don't have you as a real user of the software, so you need to click here to help us update our records. And then this will flag it for the Tambellini Group to actually then go in and validate that you have selected and are a real user of this application, so that we can then share that information with the rest of our users. So that's a real quick summary of Peertelligent. We also have an RFP and Contract Library, again, to help you come in, get that information that you're looking for, being able to download those, as well as, depending upon the subscription, access to premium reports. So you can see a number of the reports that we do have, and we continue to add to this. Our next report will be coming out right here at the first of the year, an Upgrade or Replace series. We'll be comparing the Lucian Banner XE upgrade to the Oracle PeopleSoft solution. So we're continuing to do this, and all of our research is driven by the requests from our subscribers and from higher ed. So it's not just what we think you want to know. We actually drive our research, drive our reports, drive the vendors, and the information on the site is all coming from higher ed. So if this was something that you were interested in, you can always come to peertelligent.com. Again, the basic membership, silver membership. We will be, as Caitlin had said, too, to create these online communities and communities of practice. In the 1st of January, we will be launching those forums, and Achieving the Dream can have a forum or based on certain discussions. But the difference between gold and silver, you can see, is with reports as well as getting some hours of research. And we also do not limit the number of seats for an institution to have access to this, because what we've been told too is that the information that we are providing, again, no vendors are allowed, is important for purchasing. It can be important to academics. So we have all of this information here and don't limit the seats. Very quickly, just to show you the type of membership plans and just comparing, just so you can get a quick view on the price. If you're interested in more of this, we can talk about it later. Be more than happy to discuss this with you. But just so that you can see, this is the base price, and this does not include the significant concession that we would be offering to Achieving the Dream members. We also have a reward or incentive program where we're looking to incent, your participation in the site with updating your technology profile, helping us update your contacts and rating and review, where this would be dependent upon your membership level. We would then, upon the completion any time of certain areas, we would then either cut a check directly back to the institution, or if that doesn't work, and again, especially with community colleges, there could be some issues with that, but then we would then make this possibly donate it to a scholarship on campus or to a charity of your choice. So it's just our way of trying to give back to higher ed. So with that, I just wanted to quickly show you how the services of Peertelligent will be used by Achieving the Dream, and as a member of Achieving the Dream to become a subscriber, how you can now be able to really track those technology selections and get the information that you need to help you as you're looking to improve student success and student retention within your organization. So Caitlin, I'll turn that back over to you.
Great, thank you. So, okay, great, thank you. So in order to participate in the survey, we do have the option to take the online survey, and I'm going to chat that link to you now, and I will send it as well in a follow-up email, and it will also be made available on our Achieving the Dream website. Another way to participate in the technology solutions research is to schedule a brief call with Lauren, and she'd be happy to have a conversation with you as well. Again, it's, the purpose of this research is not to be time intensive, really looking for 15 minutes of your time. The deadline to participate online or have a call scheduled is Friday, December 18th by 5 p.m. Pacific time. And just to clarify, we're not looking for you to have the call already. It's just to have it scheduled by then, so that way you can have the call, after the holidays in the new year as well. With that, I will open it up for questions and discussion. Just a reminder, you may type your question into the question pane using the GoToWebinar taskbar. And so we've already received a few questions from our attendees. One is, how is the information on the technology solutions that colleges are using collected and entered into Peertelligent by the Tambellini Group? How do they ensure that they keep it updated? So, Lauren, I think that's a good question for you.
Sure. Well, we've been doing this since 2001. And there's a lot of effort that goes into this. And we know that but just sending out a survey, you don't have time to do that. So we have a full research team that on a daily basis is updating this information through primary and secondary research. We do this through FOIA requests. We do this, again, things that are on the internet. We have some briefings with vendors. So it is a continual process that we use to always update our database with this information. And I can tell you that our database, there is not another database that is this large. It is the largest in the world. And we are called on by investment bankers, venture capitalists, when acquisitions of major players happen within the marketscape for our research and our information. So we have to make sure that it's up to date. We only provide it in aggregate We do not provide the individual information. It's simply an aggregate when we are approached by these investment and banking firms when acquisitions take place. So there's a lot that goes into this type of database. We've been doing it since 2001. We know that just sending out a survey, again, isn't going to get that information. So we do have a full research team that is out there continually updating it through, as I said, primary and secondary means.
And there was also a question about what makes this survey or this research unique from others, such as EDUCAUSE's Core Data Service Survey. And really, I'll begin. This is really for the Achieving the Dream Network, and it is to create those communities of practice within the Achieving the Dream Network. You know, a lot of what we do as a network is peer learning and, you know, communication and engagement between all of our colleges in the network. And so, Lauren, do you have anything to add about, you know, the difference between this research and others?
Sure. First of all, I think as I mentioned earlier, not only are we tracking what is utilized, but we really focus on the selections, because that is where you get the trend analysis, and this is where you can see where higher ed is moving. In addition, we are tracking over 85 different software categories and continue to add to that. As cloud services are coming on, that opens up even now a whole new area of service vendors and service technology providers that will be launching in January, like we showed you for the software. We're also going to be loading that now for service vendors. So, and also we are very detailed on what we're providing, and our database is the largest, and we just aren't updating it on an annual basis. It is continual throughout the year with our research team.
Great. And then I just have one more question, and that is about the discount offered to Achieving Dream Network colleges. What is the overall discount ATD member colleges will get for the gold or silver membership? And so I think this is a good question again for you, Lauren. I know that the Tambellini Group has expressed, you know, flexibility with the discounts as well.
Right. Again, because yes, and especially for Achieving the Dream and those that participate, you know, if this is a question too that I'd be more than happy to talk, you know, offline. But we are offering right now for those that participate a 40% discount off of that annual member subscription rate. And again, that's going to be for a limited time, because as we're adding more services come here in the first quarter, the value of the site will significantly increase. But so if it's something that you think you could take advantage of, you know, feel free to contact me, because it's a great way to become involved.
Great. Well, thank you. Well, if there are any other questions or you would like more information, we are providing our contact information for you to absolutely reach out to us. And certainly reach out to Lauren to schedule a call if you would prefer to participate in the research that way. And again, we will be sending out follow-up information with the link to the survey, this webinar recording, slides from this webinar presentation, as well as our contact information in a follow-up email to you. So I would like to thank everybody for attending today, and we look forward to having you participate in the technology solutions research. Thank you so much.